You wake up, you do what needs to be done. You answer messages, you get through the day. From the outside, everything looks fine, but somewhere inside you feel distant, like you're present, but not really here. This isn't a story about being broken. It's about functioning without feeling alive. It's about that quiet, hollow space that can grow inside you even when your life looks perfectly put together on the surface. You're doing everything right. You're checking all the boxes, but the color has drained from the picture. They're the ones we carry with us through our daily routines, hidden behind a smile, a nod, or a simple "I'm fine." This feeling, this experience of being a spectator in your own life is incredibly common, yet it's one of the hardest things to talk about. Because how do you articulate an absence? How do you explain that you're not falling apart, but you're not quite whole either? Today, we're going to explore that space. Not to fix it, but to understand it. You don't feel sad enough to call it pain, and you don't feel okay enough to call it peace. You exist somewhere in between. It's a gray area, a sort of emotional limbo where nothing feels particularly good or particularly bad. You move through your life on autopilot. The alarm goes off. You get up. You go to work. You complete your tasks. You come home, you make dinner, you watch a show, you go to sleep. You're ticking off the items on a never-ending to-do list, filling the hours, doing what's expected of you. And the strangest part, no one notices. Because you're still showing up. You're still reliable. You're still the person everyone can count on. From the outside, you are the picture of stability. You handle your responsibilities, you meet your deadlines, you maintain your relationships. But inside, it feels like you're watching a movie of your life instead of actually living it. The connection between you and your actions has become frayed. You are the operator, but you are not the inhabitant. You are present in body, but your spirit feels miles away, and you're not even sure when it left or how to call it back. Functioning can look a lot like living. In fact, they can be almost indistinguishable from the outside. You go to work, you eat, you sleep. You might even socialize. You laugh at the right moments in a conversation. You offer sympathy when it's appropriate. You celebrate your friends' successes. You play your part perfectly. But living, truly living, has something else in it. It has presence. It has a deep felt connection to the moment you are in. It has moments where you actually feel yourself inside your own body, where your breath feels like your own, where a taste is truly savored, where a moment of joy lands with real weight. And lately, maybe you haven't felt that. Maybe laughter has become more of a reflex than a genuine expression of delight. Maybe food is just fuel, and sleep is just a reset button. This isn't about a lack of activity. Your calendar might be full. You might be busy, productive, even successful. But the internal experience is one of emptiness. It's like listening to your favorite song through a thick wall. You can recognize the melody, but you can't feel the music. You're going through all the right motions, but the emotional core, the part of you that makes life feel vibrant and meaningful, is on mute. Sometimes this happens slowly. It's a subtle drift, not a sudden break. You don't lose yourself all at once. It begins quietly. A little less curiosity about the world around you. A little less excitement for things you used to love. A little less emotion. A little more numbness. You start to disconnect from what you actually feel, perhaps because feeling it was too much, or too complicated, or simply too tiring. So you start to operate from your head, not your heart. You make decisions based on logic, on what you should do, rather than what you want to do. This slow fade is insidious. You might not even notice it's happening at first. You just feel a bit more tired than usual. You find yourself saying no to invitations more often, not because you're busy, but because the effort feels monumental. Hobbies that once brought you joy now feel like chores. The world, which once seemed full of possibilities, starts to feel like a series of obligations, and you just keep going. You adapt, you adjust your baseline for what normal feels like. Until one day you have a moment of clarity and you realize you haven't been living your life, you've even surviving it. You might tell yourself that you should be grateful. You look around and see that you have a roof over your head, a job, people who care about you. Nothing is technically wrong. Your problems seem small in comparison to the real hardships others face. This thought, while perhaps intended to give you perspective, often just adds a layer of guilt. It makes it even harder to talk about what you're feeling. Because how do you explain that you're tired of a life that looks perfectly okay on paper? How do you voice a complaint when you can't point to a specific cause? So you stay quiet. You keep functioning. You push the feeling down and tell yourself to just get on with it. You might even double down on being productive, hoping that by doing more, you'll start to feel more. But the silence doesn't make the feeling go away. It just isolates you inside of it. You keep going, not because it's easy, but because it's familiar. Autopilot is a well-worn path. It requires less energy than forging a new one, less vulnerability than admitting you're lost. And so the cycle continues. Functioning becomes the default, the safe mode you're stuck in. If any of this feels like you, if this story resonates in that quiet place inside you, please hear this. It does not mean you are unmotivated or unappreciative or broken. It is not a character flaw. It might just mean you've been away from yourself for too long. You've spent so much energy keeping the ship afloat that you forgot to check if the captain was still on board. You've been so focused on performing the role of a functional person that you've lost touch with the person underneath. This state of being is often a protective mechanism. It can be a response to chronic stress, to quiet grief, to a long period of putting others' needs before your own. Your system, in an effort to conserve energy and protect you from overwhelm, simply started to shut down the non-essential systems and, for a while, feeling deeply felt non-essential. Reconnecting isn't about a massive overhaul. It doesn't start with quitting your job or changing everything about your life overnight. Sometimes it just starts with noticing. The first step back isn't a grand gesture. It's a quiet turn inward. It starts with noticing. Noticing the tension you hold in your shoulders as you sit at your desk. Noticing which conversations or tasks completely drain your energy and which, if any, give you a tiny spark. Noticing what you've stopped caring about, the books you've stopped reading, the music you've stopped listening to. The goal here isn't to judge it. It's not to immediately try and fix it. It's just to see it. To acknowledge it without criticism. Think of it as gathering information. You are a gentle detective, reacquainting yourself with your own inner landscape. What does my body feel like right now? What thought just passed through my mind? What am I numb to? I hear you. You are here, and you matter. It's a return, not a reinvention. Thank you for spending this time with me.